Dassault Systems is a global leader in 3D design, engineering, and simulation software, widely recognized as the 3D experience company. Over the years, it has grown through a strong foundation in scientific innovation, transforming how products are imagined, designed, manufactured, and supported. At IRIM, we recognize that in today's rapidly evolving manufacturing landscape, digitalization and end-to-end integration are no longer optional. They are essential. That's why we value the expertise of organizations like Dassault Systems, whose deep insights and advanced solutions help us reimagine and transform the digital fabric of modern manufacturing. This workshop is designed to delve deep into the foundational pillars of modern manufacturing: resilience, intelligence, sustainability, and maturity. Leveraging dynamic brainstorming and collaborative discussions, we'll uncover the key strategies driving transformation and explore how emerging technologies and agile approaches are reshaping operational models. Our goal is to envision and co-create the factories of the future: smart, adaptive, and environmentally responsible production environments that are equipped to thrive in a rapidly changing world. For that, we would have two people on stage for this. I will introduce you to them first. Mr. Vivek Javani, who is a seasoned professional in the industrial engineering and manufacturing fields. He currently leads digital transformation initiatives for conglomerates, deploying virtual twin solutions to deliver measurable business outcomes. With over 17 years of experience across manufacturing, project management, digital transformation, and industry process consulting, he helps organizations align technology with sustainability goals. Joining him will be Mr. Sanjeev, who brings over 13 years of expertise in supply chain, digital manufacturing and operations, and product lifecycle management. At Dassault Systems, he leads strategic initiatives and an expert team focused on transforming supply chain and manufacturing practices. His work spans key areas such as sales and operations planning, master production scheduling, lean manufacturing, operations management, new product introduction, model-based engineering, and PLM. The Dassault Systems team will guide us through an insightful presentation highlighting key pain points and real-world scenarios faced in modern manufacturing. Their session will shed light on critical challenges and opportunities, offering a practical lens into the evolving industrial landscape. Following the presentation, we'll transition into an interactive segment via the Zoho Backstage app, where participants can respond to a curated questionnaire. This is your opportunity to share your perspectives, experiences, and solutions related to the scenarios discussed. I request everyone to key in your responses in the Zoho app, and the Dassault team will come back with their responses later. So please now join me in welcoming Mr. Vivek and Mr. Sanjeev to the stage to conduct the workshop.
Thank you so much for this kind introduction. Very good morning, all. It's a privilege to be here among the manufacturing leaders of India. As we try to be resilient among the global uncertainties today, as we try to deploy intelligence in our manufacturing operations, as we try to take sustainability, as we try to care for Earth along with our industrial growth, and as we try to achieve the digital maturity, we thought that we'll name this session as PRISM. So what we intend to do today, we'll start with a brief introduction of Dassault Systems. Then we will go into the key areas, which say around 10 key manufacturing themes, and have a brainstorming session on how they will impact the PRISM goal. Dassault Systems, we are a purpose-driven company, science-based and sustainability at its core. Over 25,000 people globally share the same belief of sustainability. Our ownership, our shareholding pattern has been consistent since we got listed, and this gives us the stability, and the healthy operating margins gives us the ability to invest in the right R&D today. We have a strong ecosystem of around 14,000 partners who bring in the collective knowledge and also gave us the reach to reach the market. And our real assets are our relationships with 370,000 customers, what we cherished. We believe that there is no rehearsal in life, there is no undo in real world, especially in manufacturing. So virtual worlds, if we can do, if we can simulate, if we can imagine, if we can operate before actually touching the real world, it can bring a big difference. This is the belief on which we operate. Over the history, over our existence, we have contributed meaningfully. We have been a catalyst of majority of the technological, scientific advancement which has happened, starting from 1980s, where we unwrapped we went into the 3D, right from 2D. Then from the shape, we went to the systems. Companies, the aerospace companies started designing the system of systems, that is the digital mock-up and product data management. Later, collaboration became the key and value creation at every stage of the life cycle. So product life cycle management companies like Toyota started leveraging it. And in 2012, we found that people, processes, and technology data should work together. So there came the 3D experience platform, what we discussed today. Now we intend to move from things, virtual twins of things, to virtual twin of life. And this is the metamorphosis which Gen AI, along with Gen AI, we are going ahead today. We serve 12 industries. Manufacturing is an important at its core, and we do this through our 3D experience platform, which has capabilities in terms of modeling, simulation apps, social and collaboration, information intelligence, and more. So with this brief introduction, I request Sanjeev to let's get into the discussion on PRISM.
Thank you, Vivek. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon. Thank you. So, as this session will be more about a workshop, and then invoking thoughts, and then bringing some mind-twisting elements, I request everybody to be a bit more attentive. I would have some questions coming up, and then we'll see how to take up that. So, you people may be saying, what is this PRISM all about, right? When we spoke about prioritizing resilience, and then intelligence, sustainability, and maturity for smart operations. So what is that prioritization? Let us dwell a bit about this prioritization. So you're all leaders. You're driving transformation. Then you have growth ambitions. You people also have some visions and a purpose to drive that particular things. So while your role demands the current objectives to be met, and then you people start working towards that, and then you people are coming ahead and then asking about digitization, transformation, and then I hear some questions. So this is where I want somebody to just hands up and then tell that, okay, these questions are resonating with you guys. People tell, I'm expanding my plant, or I'm in an expansion mode. Are there better digital solutions available for me to handle my or manage my operations? So how many of these are relevant for you guys? Okay. The second thing I hear is, okay, I have AI ML team, and then I want to do process improvements. Are there solutions available with you guys? Because we are a technology partners, right? We are technology vendors. So how many of these questions comes across to your minds? Okay. The third thing I hear, my quality, my production, my different teams are fragmented, and then I'm trying to build a digital twin. How can we do this? So how many of these are coming to your minds? So these has a unique trend now. It is not anymore like I want a design system, I want a manufacturing execution system. It's no more like that. I mean, if I see the questions, it is more about going ahead and then seeing a scientific way of addressing the problems. And then we see a trend that people are looking beyond the classic systems. I mean, if I go do a deep, and then if I have some discussions with you, I see some digital footprints, and then you people are looking more. Means the digital transformation rethink is happening within your minds. I mean, that is why you people are over here, to see that, okay, what best you can do for your company. So 70% of the companies are rethinking their digital transformation. I mean, there is a report from McKinsey that across the globe, I mean, I ask some questions and then I see that, okay, people coming out with hands raised that, okay, we are thinking about this particular things. Why? Why is that happening? When we ask the operational leaders, they tell that MES is implemented, but I am not able to do a reactive intelligence. I mean, I'm still in the reactive intelligence mode. I'm not in the proactive intelligence mode. And then the maturity of the tool is not meeting with the expectations that I want. It is no more scalable. And then nowadays it is about sustainability, right? I mean, it is not a concept. I mean, it is not a compliance. I mean, it is more about people are looking sustainability in different terms. So if I want to change my operations, I mean, if I want to go more towards a greener or an energy efficient system, my tools are not scalable. What will I do? I mean, these are some of the things why digital transformation rethink is happening. So when I come back to this and then see that prioritization, okay, then tell that, okay, why prioritization in terms of achieving resilience or bringing in intelligence is coming up, is people are trying to do something different, but they're not able to orchestrate that right. So that is where this concept of PRISM was put across. So prioritizing the resilience and then intelligence. So it is what is PRISM? I mean, we know PRISM is reflecting lights, right? But in a scientific way, it is a metaphorical thinking. I mean, what happens is the light goes in and then it breaks it into different components within that particular presence. So leader's mind is also like that. I mean, you people are having the power to diagnose and then come out with directions. I mean, that is what we will be inculcating now. I mean, we want you people to think now, how is that I'm going to break this chunk of changes that I want to bring into operational levers. It may be about the first time right, it may be about the quality, it may be about the lab executions or the supply chain. I mean, the disruptions that are coming in the supply chain today, how do I manage it? I mean, that is where the resilience comes in. If the data is there, if I'm 90% good in all of these things and I do not know what to do with that data, so how do I go ahead and then establish the intelligence? And are the adoption coming in to picture? I mean, that is where the maturity of the system grows. So this thinking of going ahead and then balancing and then the perceiving attributes to see that, okay, what are my strategic levers? So probably today in manufacturing and supply chain, we see 4 things. One, if I'm able to analytically and contextually put quality information, will I be able to improve my throughput by say 10 to 15%? So am I going ahead and then improvising my customer satisfaction? The second lever is if I'm able to manage my existence of quality, production and the supply chain in an orchestrated way, will I improve my OTIF? Will I improve my fulfillment? So what is that? I'm going ahead and then increasing my top line. The third part is sustainability. People are looking at sustainability factors from rank 1 to rank 3 and then they're telling that, okay, there are certain new materials, new ways of going ahead and then producing thing, maybe a greener fuel, and then what are the process changes, and then what is the impact of that. In one of the companies I was there, I mean, they told that, okay, I'm stopping a few things of export because European sustainability metrics has come up with some validations, some regulations, some audit compliances. I need some tools now to go ahead and then put that. So how do I improvise sales in that? And then finally, putting people together, how do I evolve along with this? So this is something where a metamorphic thinking towards a strategic lever or the operational levers. So the 2 levels, what you're seeing is if you as leaders are able to bring this thinking and then connect that to the strategic levers And then for an organization, it is a central infographic, the vision, the tools not matching maturity, will I be able to orchestrate it centrally? Will I be having a platform to orchestrate this and then see that, okay, how the intelligence, the resilience, and the maturity works in line or in conjunction, and then I'm able to put across the things right. So this is what is Prism all about. So today, we will go ahead and then have some actions done. So we have you people to take a strategic lens. So the metaphorical thinking, the strategic levers, and the central infographic vision, if it goes into you guys, and then we have put across some 10 high impact theme, because the questions that I was asking was about the first time right intelligence or the lab to line, and a lot of process industries, the batch optimizations that has to happen, the supply chain problem, or the drift in plan versus reality. The last 3 points are very, very much, okay, I've invested in some MES tool, I do not know what is the ROI. How do I justify this? Or if I have to invest in a new tool, how do I go ahead and then ask my management? How do I go ahead and then put across the ROI? So the 10 themes, which we have seen across almost like post-COVID, at least 5 years, are reshaping the way how we think about a technology and then what the technology should give. So let us work on this. Let us discover together. So that's where I told them, we will be a bit more attentive, and then the high operational themes are in. So what is that we need to do? I told two aspects, the current objectives. The second one is the vision that you people have and the vision you people want to achieve. As leaders, you want to establish that. So it's a dream. It's a dream that, okay, what we want to go ahead and then put across. So it is like you dare to realize the excellence through augmented. When we say augmented, it's not really augmented reality. Anything that is augmented is, will I be able to do some change in a process? Probably it is digital, virtual, manufacturing. So how do I put? On the left-hand side, the metaphorical thinking that comes in. So from diagnostics to direction, you people are the ones who will set the direction. From my current state to the future state, what are the changes that I want? And then what is that you will realize? A structured approach now. When many people come to us and then ask that, okay, will I be able to put a digital twin? I ask the question, yes, we will be able to put a digital twin, but we need to follow this. We need to see that, okay, how we are able to bring changes in our thinking. And then the second thing is sustainability not as a compliance, probably the real sentiment, what is really happening. People are going ahead and then buying sustainable products. They are telling that, okay, organic things that are getting created, and then the sustainable way of buying products. So how do I get that to that particular stage? How do I grow my company to that particular stage? So a strategist view, right? I want you people to become the strategist view. So to do that, we will be starting a digital journey. A set of questions on the 10 operational themes will be coming up to you guys. And then some tips just for your betterment. No single line answers. When the questions are framed in such a way that, okay, you people think, come up with the current state, an actionable insight to the future state. No binary prompts. No, yes, good, I'm good at this, I'm 95%. Yes, if you're 95% good at quality, probably 5% good at supply chain, it is still an improvement area. Concise your current status and the future state. What is that you are today? Where is that you want to go? Probably within 20 words. We do not want more than 20 words. If you are able to articulate it, the problem statement, the metaphoric thinking to come that the strategic levers towards the central infographic, and then the thoughts in achieving this particular thing, the changes that you want to bring about as you, as leaders. So why we want this? It was a brief session. Stay tuned. We have one more session that what people are thinking. Okay, today you people are thinking, but a lot more people have already thought about this, and that is where we are also learning. We are working with them. From fragmentation to frictionless factories. We will have a dedicated session on this with some use cases. And the dreams, whatever you people are putting in, the best of dreams, the sweet ones, will definitely have a price catch. That is what is our challenge. That is what is the challenge for you guys. So the Prism in action is there till our next session, probably till around 2 o'clock or so that we try to see how is that we can bring a change along with you guys. Thank you. Good evening. Oh, thank you. So, welcome back. And I think thanks a lot for the responses that what we have got for the questionnaires. Just to summarize, I think we started with our introduction, and then we came back to the concept of PRISM, that is prioritizing the resilience, intelligence, sustainability, maturity in the operations. We had 10 high theme operations or the levers for operations. And then we wanted to discuss that, okay, what exactly are those? Now, the point is, how do we go ahead and then put that across? How do we go ahead and then take that forward? I think from today, 2-3 sessions, what we saw, I think it was fantastic to see that, okay, people talk about the rethinking strategies, when people talk about the consultative approach, the value integration, the value measures, and how do I go ahead and then take it up, the digital twins, and then how people are looking at technology to solve problems. While we do that, when the part is we have to also understand how blending technology with your business processes will help us achieve the success that what we are looking into. So to do that, once we have some thought-evoking process, when there are around 10 themes, 10 questions, and then people came out with different concepts, different ideas, different pain areas on the current status and the future that what they want to do. So if I want to go and then put that into some sense, I mean, how do I make sense out of that particular thing? I mean, that is the most critical thing. So if whatever is your thought process, if I'm not able to make sense from that, then that would not go ahead and then put across into an execution path. So that is the whole essence. So if I want to make that as a sentiment-enabled navigation tool for the strategic evaluation, so that is where I'll be able to put across different thought process. So in the survey that what we ran, I mean, from the same company, 2-3 people have gone ahead and then they have given the survey. So everybody had a different thought on each of the topic, right? And then if I'm able to extrapolate to a similar kind of an industry or a segment, so then there are different set of challenges that are coming in. So everybody are at different maturity status. Everybody are at different levels of how you people are looking your own transformations. When I told you people are the ones who will diagnose and then put the roadmap ahead. So this is the 5 scales. I mean, this is nothing new. I mean, this is how everybody, I mean, every consulting company or every symposium is going ahead and then telling that out of 5, how is that I'm going to rate myself? Now, you people have gone ahead and then put across your thought process, your mind-evoking points that, okay, this is where I am here, and then this is what is that I would like to do. So if I'm able to map that into one of these particular steps, I'll be able to get a sentiment heat map. Probably it is a collection of people. Maybe when we go ahead and then see that, okay, 4 or 5 teams putting their views, and then we are seeing that how we are going ahead and then building this sentiment heat map. It's a very structured approach of internally evaluating your own self for something that you want to change together. So that is the whole point. I mean, when it is about sentiment, it's not about me. It's about you, your team, and the whole organization. So this reflects how the organization wants to transform. So why it is important? I mean, why is this particular meaning of sense important? This drives the prioritization that where you want to go. So one of this, I mean, this is in generic. I mean, this is not very specific to what we have seen. We observed the same trend in whatever people had responded to us. But out of all the surveys and all the discoveries that we do across, we see that this is how the trend goes. Yes, people are investing something in the first time right. They are trying to improvise their processes. But if you see on the other hand, the digital ROI, the sustainability, the adoption rate is where the changes are happening. I mean, if I'm able to pull the levers over here and then see that, okay, how data will come in, I'm able to make more sense. So with this sense, let us see how technology will blend. I mean, how should I go ahead and then blend technology to this to pull these levers? I mean, that is what is the whole essence of this. So we spoke about the first lever of resilience. The lever of resilience is all about how will I make orchestrated value chain. A company is not made by me. The company is not made by a team. It is different functions, the cross functions, and your value chains. I mean, it is your vertical value chains or the extended value chains that you're working with. If I'm able to orchestrate, I mean, people tell that, okay, I have the best of supply chain tools. I have the AI-based supply chain tool, but what about execution? What about your design? I think today morning we saw the investments into the R&D, the depth of how manufacturing has to evolve. So that is where you go ahead and then build the resilience. So today there are a few companies who have started this, and then they have started this journey. So we'll also see some use cases against this particular thing. But going ahead and then having a 3-lever approach on managing my planning and scheduling, I mean, typically the supply chain vertical. The strategy and design, this is typically the engineering to manufacturing, I mean, the core of design to manufacturing. And then the tactics and execution, the world of dispatches that happens from the plant or the factory. So how am I going ahead and then managing this? So go back to the metaphoric thinking. I mean, it is not about perception of one element. It's a perception of multiple elements now. So that is when I'm inculcating resilience. To showcase this particular resilience example, very recently, I mean, in India, we worked with a stainless steel company. They are one of the top, and then they had an objective. They had a vision to transform. So they came up with a vision to transform. They wanted to overcome some of their pain areas. So they deliver wide range of products. I mean, they have yards. I mean, they do the best of processes, and then right from going ahead and then procuring the raw materials to the source. But while they also have certain levers of improvements that they have identified. I mean, without these improvements not there, they cannot become the genie. I mean, they cannot tell that, okay, I am the genie. I mean, they want to become the genie. I mean, that is what was their vision. They want to set that I'll go from, say, top 10 to top 5 to top 1. So this is my vision for next 3 or 4 years. And to achieve that vision, I have to overcome these particular challenges. So this is a resilient way of seeing that, okay, how am I going ahead and then building my systems? Now to do that, there is a breadth of a problem, there is a depth of a problem. So everybody sees that, okay, mujhe kuch to karna hai, and some improvements are to be done, but where? How? There are issues, there are challenges, there are legacies, there is a lot of intent, but how do I go ahead and then orchestrate this entire value chain? It is not one function, it is multiple functions. I mean, we saw the sensitization heat map, and then we are seeing that how sense is to be made when I have to bring everybody together. And it may not be one solution, it may be one platform where I'll have to go ahead and then see that. Probably at one end, I'm going ahead and then seeing the current, improvising the plans, improvising the status of how do I go ahead and then optimize this particular plan. On the other hand, I'm seeing the vision. When I say it is a central infographic vision, the visibility in the shop floor till the office, I mean, how do I go ahead and then put across? A two-pronged approach is what they came up, and then we worked with them, and then they have just gone ahead and then started their journey now. And then we expect that, okay, they will have the maximum of benefits that is coming in. So this was one of the use cases. I mean, there are many use cases like this, but this is very recent. That is one we have done in India. The next lever was intelligence. So again, I'll go with the same breadth and the depth. Now, we speak about control towers. I mean, data, we'll put it on the cloud, and then we will orchestrate that particular thing. Yes, that is the right technical strategy. But what about the place where we go ahead and then put the right controls of strategy? I mean, whether it is at the plant level, what exactly should I do at the plant level? We call that as value in. I think we saw the value integration methodology that we were having, or the value measure methodology. So value in for me is what happens within the four walls of my plant. How do I improvise that? The next is value up. across the functions, maybe it is supply chain, it is procurement, it is sourcing, will I be able to bring all these elements? And the value wide is my partners, my vendors, my suppliers. They are also integral part for me. Will I be able to bring this information? Will I be able to orchestrate the cost that I'm incurring across each of these particular level and then complete the business process? So it's a typical analyze, act cycle of multi-level control. And the key drivers, and again, whatever we do, we have to link with the value. So again, go back to the intelligence questions that what you people have answered, and then see that, okay, whether I'm able to go ahead and then approach in one of these particular things. One of the example for this was in pharma. So in pharma, it is all about regulations. It's about going ahead and then having data that is coming in. It's very important for us. So a lot of issues comes across, at the planning layer. And these are not direct planning issues. These are because of market, fluctuations, deliveries, inventories, regulations that are coming in, and the process by itself. So if I'm able to plug all these things and then see that, okay, how I can bring the tool. So now I'm just giving a flavor of tool that, okay, how is that I can go ahead and then scientifically approach this? I told about today's digital technology is not about just doing the transaction, but it is about the scientific approach. Will I be able to go ahead and then analyze my external factors and the internal factors which are affecting my delivery performances, the inventories, and then see that how is that I can improve this? Will I be able to bring the schedule on board? So we have done the limbs to the lab scheduling. In one of the global customers, they are the public customers, Sanofi. So at 17 sites, they have integrated the lab scheduling. They're telling that, okay, lab scheduling is one of the key things for me. Otherwise, I'll not be able to connect the plan from production to the production schedule to the lab schedule. Hence, I'll not be able to connect limbs to MES. So this critical chain is what I'll have to go ahead and then plug. That was a problem statement. And then we took that. We have come up with specific tool sets which will address this with an actionable collaborative platform. So this is scheduling intelligence. So if anybody asks me what is the meaning of intelligence and then how intelligence runs, this is what is scheduling intelligence about. So this is where there's one of the aspects of scheduling. Probably it is production intelligence. It is about the supply chain intelligence. If I'm able to bring this lever on a platform to orchestrate things. The third lever was sustainability. So we told when it is a business prerequisite. People are started seeing that, okay, I will take products which are more sustainable in nature. So how will I go ahead and then have this? So one of the use case here was Suzlon Energy. So they made a decision that they will go ahead and then completely revamp their quality management process to the point that So they wanted to go ahead and then revamp their quality management process completely. They wanted to do the complete certification digitally, come out with new materials, new methodologies. So this is where innovation starts. So they had a particular process of going ahead and then seeing that these wind turbines, the wind turbines blades, which are one of the more complex thing, will I be able to design that digitally? Will I be able to go ahead and then add new materials, new composites, new ways of producing it, put the quality points onto this particular thing, come out with an action plan, and then see how do I go ahead and then close this. So this is about sustainability. The last lever was maturity. Fine, I have all of these particular points. How do I ensure the adaptability? How do I ensure that the ROIs are delivering this particular thing? So we have framed something called as a value engagement framework. It's all about the value. It's about going ahead and then doing an assessment. It's a dipstick study, or I do a complete assessment, come out with the relative KPIs, the pain areas, come out with the fit gaps of a sustainable or a scalable product, and the delivery is to be committed. So we follow that. We build a customer value model.
I'm sorry, sir. I hope you don't mind. We really do need to wind up.
Sure.
So if you could just, you wanted to give away those, if you could do that and finish with that. Sorry.
Right. But thank you. So in summary of Prism, It is Prism in action, the perception, readiness, integration, and Prism as lens. The innovation begins where perception meets actions. Thank you.